Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and tonight I'm joined by Dayna.
Yes, I'm here.
We're here for a Patreon exclusive. We're going to be watching the season 3 finale of Dawson's Creek for our Patreon supporters, so you can watch along with us and see us react and comment on things as they happen.
So special.
And then we'll be doing our regular recap for our regular subscribers who we love so much. We have over 630 of them now. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm very excited for multiple things. So I'm just going to pull it up and we're going to get right into it. Okay. So this is one of the things I was very excited about. So literally today, 2 hours before we even came on here, it was destiny.
Yeah.
I went on Tubi and I saw Dawson's Creek was on Tubi now. And I was like, oh, okay. And I don't know what prompted me to look. I just like, oh, they have all the seasons. That's nice.
Uh-huh.
And I just happened to look and I'm like, they have the original theme song. What? So then I looked at every season, like an episode.
Uh-huh.
And not only do they have the theme song, but they have the previously on, which I was like, oh my God.
So obviously we are switching to Tubi to watch this any
Yeah.
further.
I was like, Dana's gonna love this. I'm not gonna tell her. I'm just
How excited I got!
Yeah.
My whole body just went.
So remember, I don't know if you remember, like probably when we started this, I said a few years ago, Netflix had Dawson's Creek, and for some reason they had the original theme song, but it was like a recorded version, which is this, because this isn't the original, but it's as close as we're gonna get.
Yeah, that's okay. I will
It's
take
Paul
it.
Cole, and it's close.
It's Paul Cole. That's all I care about.
So then I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Because I was like previously on original theme song. So then I specifically went to like a season 2 episode where I knew the music was changed to see if they had original music, and it was the DVD. I was like, okay, guess you can't have everything. But we got Paula Cole.
Listen, the fact that I didn't have to listen to that whack Canadian version, I'm all right with, because it's like actually after we've watched so many episodes with it, I started like singing it, and then I'm like wanted to slap myself, be like, "That's not right." That's not right.
I told you, I was like, I actually sing it now because it gets in my head.
You could put a gun to my head right now and ask me like how to sing it, and I couldn't tell you, but I do. You'll catch me going, and I'm like, oh, no, not right. Not right.
He just has to get a gay dig in there. He just has to.
And I keep thinking, like, what 17-year-old is allowed to sail from Massachusetts to Florida Keys, the Florida Keys, up that?
Well, we've established his family doesn't really care about him.
No, apparently no one does. Like, they just care about his love life immensely.
That's really cold for a little puppy who loves her so much.
Yeah. Oh, like, damn, girl. Like, we didn't need to do all that.
Right.
Like, the way he looked was menacing. Like, don't you think so? And I don't know if they were trying to make it look like he's been crying, but he looked like he was ready to murder her. Like,
really?
in a weird stalky type, like an obsessive stalky way. Like, I'm gonna wear your skin like a coat.
Maybe they were going for that I haven't slept look because I've been thinking about you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I guess so. But to me, it just looks creepy.
I don't get it. Like, you cheated, and okay, you regretted it, and you didn't want to break up with him. But like, this is the end of the school year. It's been like 8 or 9 months.
Yeah.
And you were ready to date Will. Like, you were ready to move on. You said to him, I think it's probably about time I moved on. And like, I understand like feeling some type of way about seeing your ex with somebody for the first time, but get over it.
Like, what hurt? It's the same thing to me with Dawson. Like, I think Dawson has some more of a right because he's like actively in love with Joey, but like, to me, Andy really just doesn't have any standing to feel hurt in this scenario. Like,
right. She can be jealous, but she doesn't.
Yeah, that's what maybe she's conflating the two. Like, she's upset that her opportunities lost completely. Because maybe she always thought that they were always gonna get back together. But That ship sailed, girl, the minute you broke his trust.
Right. And I get it. They're trying to, like, I guess, make it even that they each have somebody that they hurt on their side. But like,
I guess so, but at the same time, like, she's already recognized what the right path is, and now she's trying to guide Dawson down the same path. It's like, it's not worth ruining your whole relationship over. Like,
right,
it's not.
right,
Like, let them figure out whatever it is they need to figure out, and then, like, let bygones be bygones kind of thing, and Dawson's being stubborn.
right.
Typical.
Joey's driving
Yeah,
because Pacey taught her.
that's right. And Doug's pulling her over, I bet you.
I love Doug.
So Doug is such a cop. They really did. He really plays it exactly. He has such a like highfalutin sense of self that like only cops are. But he is so upset. This is his ship, and he will refuse. He refuses for this to sink or break up. He was trying to set this ship a sail. He's wingmanning for Pacey so hard right now. And I do love that. Because I love anybody who cares about Pacey, really.
Damn, you would not let up.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he's wrong. I am on his side. Like, yeah, she is so playing both sides of this, and he's like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
Like,
It's almost like she's like, she wants to stay in this whole I can't decide scenario, and he's like, I'm giving you 3 months. I won't be in this equation anymore. And 3 months is a long time when you're a teenager.
Yeah, absolutely. And everything could change. I mean, and also he's leaving to, and like, to be honest, sometimes when that happens, like, you can find things that aren't at Cape Side, and that's what she's freaking out about, probably.
Right.
Like, and her insecurities, it's like she doesn't want Pacey to go, but she can't do what it takes to get Pacey to stay, which is messed up. So you can't, her righteousness is really killing me right now. Like, I love Joey, but like her morality and the way she like comes at people in like this self-righteous way is really annoying. Like, girl, get over it.
One thing about her though, when she is called out about this, she may storm off mad, but she'll think about it and come back and be like, "You're right."
That's what makes her a good person, because she kind of goes, "Oh yeah,
yeah."
okay.
But I like he was just like, "I'm giving up, me," and she's like, "Yeah."
Like, you're just not choosing. You're choosing not to do anything about it. And however many days have gone by since the last episode, like, like again, I'm Team Pacey.
I love that he was able to call out the wall, like, that he keeps paying for, and painting.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's at first I thought maybe Dawson was behind her the entire time. I was be like, oh god damn. But like, yeah, to me it's like she doesn't have any feet to standing in this. Like, I just don't think she has a right to preach at Pacey for the way he's handling it when she's not handling it at all. Like, it's kind of ridiculous.
Right. His face was so smug. I wanted to punch him.
It's like she's struggling. Like, she's not going to be present. Like, this is not her number one priority. Your parents' wedding is not her number one priority in her mind. And the fact that he's like so jealous over the fact that even in her mind, she's thinking about somebody else. Like, it's obvious she doesn't want to be with him. Let it go.
She's not there for you. She's there for Gail.
Exactly. Like, my whole thing is just kind of like, it's incredibly obvious that Joey wants to be with Pacey. She just can't make the decision because she doesn't want to hurt Dawson's feelings.
Because she's crippled by the thought that Dawson will never speak to her again.
Right. And to be honest, she has all kinds of reason to think so because of the way he's reacting in this situation. So like, it just feels like he's intentionally holding his best friends back from something that could be really great for both of them because he selfishly wants it for himself, and that is not what a good friend is.
Right.
And it makes me mad.
And like, I don't understand. Like, do you really want to be with somebody that clearly is not as into it as you want her to be?
The fact that she's not emphatically saying, yes, Dawson, I want to be with you, that should be over then there. Done. Yeah. Like, if you're telling me that you need to think about it, the answer's no.
Well,
You
kind of
know
like with Pacey. Pacey's like, you're not making a decision, and you're not asking me to stay, so I'm gonna go.
right. See, again, like, Pacey's the most mature out of all 3 of them. Like, he's the one who could be like, "Listen, I'm not like, everything all of your non-answers are still answers." Like,
Mhm.
a non-response is a response. If someone doesn't pick up the phone and answer or answer your text or whatever that like, that he's just not into you kinda thing, like, it's odd when they do things, that is what your response is. It's
Yeah,
not like some sort of code or it
yeah.
is what it is. Like,
Mhm.
oh God, okay.
And Pacey's right, like, well, what he told Doug, like, she knows how I feel,
He
and what he
does.
said to her, like, "I'm not the one that's stopping us from being in us, like, you're not making
Exactly.
a decision."
Like, this has always been in your court.
Right.
Like, it's never not been.
Yeah.
Like, the whole back and forth, like, about who's gonna tell Dawson, like, she kept going, "I'll do it, you do it, I'll do it, you do it." And then next thing you know, he just knows because he
Yeah.
let it go too long.
Right.
She's being a coward, and he's calling her a coward without basically saying you're a coward. Like, and she's getting mad at him because he wants to just not be around for it anymore.
Right.
Like, uh,
Okay, my soap opera brain is working overdrive because in my head I would have had Graham sleep with this guy, get pregnant, and that Graham's grandfather is not her actual biological grandfather.
that's what happens in season 72 of Dawson's Creek. Middle-aged Jen finds out that she was never actually biologically related to anybody in her family. I
Except,
love I
except
love
Graham's.
yeah, except for Graham. I love the camera guys like cut to Pacey, like when it's like, and I have no regrets, Pacey, and it's like Pacey has done it all, okay?
Casey
Like,
should not have regrets. He's done all the stuff.
leave him alone. He's literally the only one who's doing it correctly. Everyone else is totally like exactly what teens should be. It's ridiculous.
And Andy's whole we've had a rough couple of months. Like season 2 was like a freaking dumpster fire compared to season 3. This
Seriously.
was like a fun light season, honestly.
Yes, it was. They literally jam-packed all of the drama at the back end of this season. Like, they kinda made us go, "Oh, I guess everybody's happy."
Yeah.
Have the beautiful season of Jen where she just gets everything she could possibly want and then just rip it all away at the end.
So again, thank God she's honest finally. She's
Yeah,
basically said I choose Pacey, but no, I can't because then you won't talk to me.
yeah.
Again, so you're keeping
Surprise.
her imprisoned in this scenario because you don't want him to have your object. Like I said last time, like he's treating this like she's his object.
Mhm. It's his friend. It's like his best friend,
Mhm,
his Joey, all
mhm,
that stuff. And the way he was looking at her, like as if she was like killing a puppy in front of his.
right.
And like she is literally telling him the truth. Like
Mhm,
she just wanted him to know, be like, just as a heads up, like if I thought for a second that you would be like come around and we would still be in each other's lives, if I chose Pacey, I would have chose Pacey.
right,
That's it's what it comes down to. She's not in love with Dawson anymore. Not at this moment. She's in
right,
love with Pacey. She wants to be with him.
right.
He's holding her hostage,
Yep.
essentially. Like,
How do you yeah, that like how do you also not kiss him? Like
how do you let him walk away? Is my whole thing. You do not let him walk away. You say yes, especially after what you just told Dawson. Like,
yeah.
that's I think too is it kind of messed me up right now is that we have no idea how Dawson reacted to the news. Like, did he just go all right and then just walk the rest of the way down the dock?
And
Like,
now PC has literally done all he could do. Like he
seriously,
even painted a sign flat out saying ask me to stay on the wall she refuses to paint herself. And he's paying
seriously.
for
Oh, well, also like
it.
her going like, "What does this mean?" It's like, bitch, did you not just read the wall?
Do you want him to say do you want him to read it out loud?
You
It's
want
like
him to
you need to
can
hear
you
it.
read? Can you read? Like, what do you mean? Like, does this mean? Oh my god, okay. It's like, girl, get out of the way. Like, literally get out of the way for anyone else. Like, because it is ridiculous.
Okay, I am very happy for Mitch and Gal. I'm
Yeah.
glad they got their happy ending. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And look at Pacey being the bigger person again, just showing up.
Seriously. He looks good too, by the way.
He looks good.
I and also like I just kept thinking like you could tell that like Dawson's headspace is in one place and Joey is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just in completely different headspaces. There is no same page.
No,
Like Dawson's like, "Oh, look how great my family's coming back together. I'm so happy." And Joey's watching this and going like, "I can't see myself with Dawson in this situation." Like she's putting herself there. Like you could see it as she's standing there.
when they said in their vows, "My best friend," and Joey she kind of looked down, like she was like taking that in.
Mhm.
I was like, please don't get all confused because they're best friends and they're getting married. That this means that because you and Dawson are best friends, that you're supposed to be together.
Yeah, that's also a very viable option that they can go. But I was really just thinking like the realizations of like if I was Gail, who would be on the other side of the aisle? Like who would I be looking at? And like she's probably coming to the realization right now anyway. It's Pacey that she would want to see there.
And then to turn around and see Pace.
Yeah, right, and to turn around and see his fine ass just standing right there, looking cool as shit in his little Tommy Bahama shirt and his like
Dawson's pissed.
canvas, right? And then Dawson looks like every time the stylist for James Vanderbeek should be shot because they just put him in like these oversized clothes. He looks like a child dressed in his dad's suit type stuff. It's all I know is the style at the time. I lived through it. I know. But it's just ridiculous. Like and Pacey looks so good like all the time. It's ridiculous.
I want to say, don't hold me to it because I don't really remember that from season 4 on, Dawson's style is a little bit better.
Cool.
So,
Good to know.
yeah. I have feelings on that. I know you weren't really like feeling the relationship. I
Oh, with
don't.
Henry.
Yeah.
Well, it's just kind of like I guess like I don't really truly believe like how much Jen is feeling this. I know he has an incredible way with like expressing how he feels towards her and it is in very much pure innocent way. But I still think like again it's like probably like the whole time like it's like almost like a raising scenario.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But it's like one of those situations like if you're happy, girl, I'm happy for you. It doesn't have to be for me. It's for you. Like
So
you
you're
know,
done.
yeah, this is for you. It's not for me. And so like as long as he treats her correct, I'm fine. You know?
I
But
find that a lot with a lot of my shows. Like, yeah, I have my favorite couples, and they don't always work out, but usually out of the couple, there's like one character I like the most, and they're my favorite character, and I'm like, well, if they're happy, then I'm happy.
yeah, again, like it's about how he treats her
Right.
in the relationship.
Right.
And I think she's been kind of yo-yoing him
Yeah.
a lot. So I honestly I feel kind of bad for him
Mm-hmm.
more so than her because she doesn't know her own feelings. And that in itself could be a taxing
Yeah.
relationship to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Joey. Look at Pacey's face right now. This is almost like an older man that has been dealing with this nonsense for far too
I know
long.
what is a shot to for
Like, it's kind of like see this whole thing. He looks so cool, and he better not ruin it with his own like selfish wants and needs on Joey again. Like he can just leave. Like so, but yeah, I if Jen's happy, I'm happy for Jen.
Okay. Go ahead. I know you probably want to rant about.
Well, all I'm just gonna say is that like Dawson honestly just needs to like. Well, maybe this is James Vanderbeek's problem, but like it feels like he's putting on the emotion that he feels like he needs to in this moment. Like he's so indignant. Like he's just standing there with this complete furrow brow, which I'm sure it's like the sun genuinely
Yeah,
like in his eyes. But like at the same time, it's just like Pacey's looking straight at him. Dawson can't even look at him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just looking in this direction the entire time.
Right.
And like also Pacey is just automatically assuming that the fact that she can't like tell him straight up that I want to be with you, can be with him right now, means that like that she chooses Dawson. And
Right.
again, she's not a trophy, y'all. Like she's a fucking human being.
Yeah,
Like
congratulating him on winning.
ah, that's what I'm
That
saying. Don't ruin it, bro. Like you
yeah,
were looking real cool, and now like because you think that you were passed over, like it's so triggering for him. You could tell like the minute that she didn't give him the affirmative, he was ready to just lay waste. Like let's just burn it down. It's fine.
yeah.
And yeah, I just
But I don't know. Him saying you're not even gonna say goodbye. She should have been like, have a safe travel or something, not goodbye,
yeah
PC. Like this is
yeah.
forever.
Well, like the minute I think it was kind of when he was like confirming that like you've already chosen, and she's just like over it. She's like, well, then I guess I did. And what the choice wasn't wasn't Dawson. It was to be with neither one of you. Like it's kind of like I don't know how I feel about either one of you more than the other. So like
But I
you
also feel like him being like, see, there, you made a choice. Like,
yeah,
so I'm gonna go.
that's what I thought it was about. Like I
And
initially thought he was like, okay, so you chose. Like
yeah.
you chose that you can't do anything.
Hmm.
Like he took it to like another level because he's hurt, you
Yeah.
know, because it wasn't him.
It did, yeah, he did start it wasn't as bad as he's been in the past,
Mhm.
but, um, he started to with the whole, "You could have saved us a lot of heartache," like,
Yeah,
his
like,
little
come on.
thing.
Again, it's like it's the gaslighting. It's the same thing that Dawson was doing. It's
Right.
kind of like
It's
making
probably just, like, a sign of the times, is that
yeah,
late '90s, early 2000s male gaze, like
yeah. Well, it's like the idea that Joey needs to feel bad about having complicated feelings that she can't work out in the time frame that they want her to.
Right.
Really, that's where you learn in these types of scenarios and these if you've ever been in a triangle of any type, the first thing you learn after it's like the best thing to do is to literally cut ties with both,
Right.
especially if you can't tangibly choose.
Right.
Or don't give either one an idea that you are willing to do one or the other.
Right.
Like just walk away from it altogether. It's never worth it.
Yeah, if you're not
That's
gonna make
kind
a
of
decisive decision,
yeah. Like if you can't within like a reasonable amount of time, because apparently she's been dragging this out for months, which is kind of like I get the frustration, but then you guys should have walked away. You know, like it should have just given up on the idea of romance between you. That's kind of what I mean. Like Pacey tried, but then everybody kept encouraging him to like give it one last shot. And it's like, nah, man, she knows what's on the line here. And like if she chooses not to do anything about it, that's her answer.
it's almost like everybody was like could tell except for Dawson
Yeah.
that she cares for Pacey.
Yeah.
But the monkey wrench is what we said before is she's so concerned that Dawson's never going to speak to her again, and that's why
Yeah.
she's not choosing.
Right. And there's a chance he won't, which
Yeah.
is messed up, especially to Joey and what she's been through in her life.
And if that's the case, then he's not really your friend.
No, he's not because all he ever saw her was as a physical object, like you're saying, his thing.
Yeah,
That's all she ever was to him, and that's all she'll ever be to him. And she shouldn't be with him or his friend to begin with.
right.
So that's why Dawson's not a good person.
She is literally sobbing.
Literally,
You're like, no, it's great. I'm having such a good time.
I'm gonna have a great time this summer with you, Dawson.
I'm fine. That's fine. We're all fine.
This is gonna be great. Literally, like, look at her face. This is a perfect pause. Like, she's legitimately upset and is very, very doesn't want to do any of the things that she said she was gonna do.
Hmm.
She's putting it all on. This is all an act, and I think he's starting to pick up on like, which is crazy because it's kind of like, how have you not picked up on this the entire time? Oh God!
That's Dawson. You literally have to like hit him in the face with it.
So you have to openly sob in front of him to get him to understand
And
that
even
you're
then, he's like,
sad.
"What? What's wrong?"
Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God.
I never liked him.
Oh, no.
See? You see
I
what he
never
does?
liked that son of a bitch.
First Buffy, now Jack.
I can't believe that. Oh
And
my
I actually never
god.
put together that that guy that's his boyfriend is for the Brad that he's been talking about all season, his ex. Um, but side note that I do know that actor. He's been in a bunch of things. He was on
Yeah,
Nashville, he's on The Young and the Restless. Like
yeah.
he's a good actor. But yeah,
Oh
Brad.
my god. Oh wow. Okay.
But so that was the first gay kiss.
Well, it was, I was excited, as you can see. I went
Right.
into the goal. We did it, and just like it went from excitement to like utter devastation. Like I got
Look,
questions for
look
this
at Jack. He's all like,
man. Literally, could this man be traumatized enough about being gay? Like, honestly, like they really just are like, hey, every milestone, like you coming out, you finding your first love interest, you finding your the courage to kiss someone, let's traumatize you each and every single step. So
no,
you don't want to do anything with anyone. You never
you,
find
you
love.
will never be happy because you're
Oh, never be happy.
gay.
Until they better give him a season of Jack.
Right?
I'm gonna be very upset if they don't. They put him through it this season. That's not right. Don't you just love when someone kind of like can't help themselves but make them the center of everything? Like I
Yes.
love how he's like in his best man speech about his parents' love. He talked about how he was upset that he wasn't there for everything and in all the pictures.
Yeah.
It's like, are you serious, dude?
Because he
And
couldn't
then
imagine that two people that he loves so much could ever be happy without him being
without him, like, are you serious? Like, is this
there.
like your worldview is so centered around yourself that is just like
That's a
everything.
narcissist, right? That's
I'm worried for Joey's safety at this point, like a little bit. Also like how he's trying to like hint that he understands what Joey's ultimately seeking from him. Like basically like that she wants his guaranteed forgiveness for going through with her own feelings.
mhm.
Like, oh God, okay.
Have you ever seen that gif of him doing that ugly cry? Now you know where it's from.
I was about to say I've seen this.
Yeah.
And it is you're the ugliest crier. Oh my God.
That's why when we started this, I was like, how much do you know? Because I feel like there's elements of the show that are just ingrained in pop culture that I'm
Oh yeah. Well, so I have no idea about the comings and goings of what's happening in the plot, but I'm sure all the gifts will come flooding to me. I'll be like, oh, people have used that in a meme.
Yeah. Okay, so like, how did you feel about it? What did you feel about his speech?
Well, it's again, it's framing everything around like him, and in the like this is all in an attempt to be like the altruistic, like bigger man when he had the opportunity to do this like many times, and he chooses the like 11th hour, like 11:59 to like do it, and it's like no one's going to give you brownie points because you finally done what was right at the last second. Like he should have said this to her a million hours ago. Also, but the thing is, it's not all on Dawson. Joey should have had the cojones to say it herself. She should have been like recognize her own feelings and stop trying to push forward with something she obviously didn't want to be doing. Like it's,
Right.
but those are lessons you have to learn, and specifically at this age, probably. Like it's where you realize, like, where do I have a spine? Where do I stick up for myself? Where are my boundaries? All that stuff. Like this is literally learning it in real time.
I will give him a little bit of credit because it is Dawson, so he had to get the hit there in his own way. He was like psyching himself up to do it. Did you notice he was kind of hyperventilating a little bit when she
Yeah.
walked up to him? Because he was like, all right, I gotta do this. I gotta do this.
Yeah, well, like, but in the dancing scene, when she starts to openly sob about talking about going to the things in summer,
Well, things
like,
we're gonna do together. It's gonna be great.
it's gonna be so fun. He, like, honestly, you could see the look on his face. He's like, "Why is she so sad about this? Like,
Right,
I don't understand."
right.
Like, and then he put hit him like a ton of bricks, like right then and there,
But
and then
that's
decided,
what Dawson always needs. He needs to
yeah,
be like smacked in the face with it.
just but like to me, it's like it doesn't give him a like a pass for
Yeah,
all the stuff he's done up until this point because like I guess I just keep thinking of they're adults, they're real adults in the real world. So I keep going like they're adults, they should know better. But they are teens. So
yeah,
it's like he really wouldn't have his first knee jerk reaction would have been hurt and why is it happening to me and da 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 da. So it's like I totally get where he's going, but at the same time, it's kind of like if Joey is as good of a friend as you say she is, you would have thought that he would have been like, Joey, I want whatever you want to be happy. And I would be there for you no matter what you decided.
right,
Like, it doesn't matter whether you were wanted to be with Pacey, wanted to be with B, didn't want to be with anybody, wanted to be with someone else. It doesn't matter. I'm still here for you because I care about you regardless of all that, unconditionally.
right,
If he could have said any of those things, he chose not to because he wanted to use it as leverage because he knew that was what's keeping her with him.
right.
So, yeah, that was a good ending. I had a feeling we were getting there, but ah, literally, our ship has sailed.
Yeah, I never really put two and two together. They literally hammered and what the sailing.
Casey didn't know. We are all behind this
I
ship,
was
and we
Dawson
lit.
here. Like you literally have to hit me in the face with it.
If you didn't know, they're together.
Well, I told you I didn't. I started to kind of see that maybe this was a possibility when they had the dance class.
Mhm.
But then I was like, no, because then I thought maybe they were putting him with Jen.
Yeah.
But when they had that whole bed and breakfast reviewer come and he watched her sleep, I was like, oh my god, he loves her. He loves her. He loves her.
No, yeah, I had like, I mean, like just from like understanding of like romance tropes because romance is like one of my favorite genres of anything. Um, you put two people together and they have a fun little banter or always had a fun little banter. There's
Mhm.
always a chance, and that's especially when you make them do a lot of stuff together. They're
Yeah, even
consistently
that first
doing.
episode where he's like, who knows, you and I might even become friends.
Yeah.
I think I remember being like, ooh, this is weird. But I
Yeah.
didn't really, because like I said, I drank the Dawson and Joey Kool-Aid because that's what I was told that was
Mhm.
supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, there's still time. This is
Uh,
only season 3, right? I mean, there's plenty of time for this to break up, to her and Dawson to get back together. I mean, like, that's kind of how Dawson is hoping for, I think, is that he's like that in his speech, he's like that love doesn't conquer all, like that line, though, how it starts and stops, essentially, that it can end and then also begin, that there's always time. Like,
mhm.
as long as you guys are both alive, it doesn't matter, like, what can go in between, but I'm so happy for Pacey specifically. I
Yeah.
mean, the look on his face when he put it together, like his heart, the heart stopping moment when she said, "I think I'm in love with you," and
I
I
like
love
that he was like, no, I only want straight answers. You think or you know?
that. And I kind of like sucked into like a gasp, like because I was like, "Dude, don't fuck this up."
I
Like,
knew that's why you were like, because you were like, oh no, he's gonna like do the Pacey thing where he tries to burn it down.
yeah, like, it's because it's like, "It's too late, I'm still hurt, I won't accept this now," like, I'm like, whatever bullshit that, like, reason his brain would come up with to shun happiness.
Right.
So I was like, "Don't go there," and then when she just matched it with, like, I know, like, that I do," and it was awesome. I mean, like, I just wish, again, for writing and plot device, there was no way she was going to be able to come to the bravery to do this until the end. But it did feel a lot like it was a lot of dragging out for like what we all know was to be true.
I actually don't think we need to do a recap because we kind of were like talking through it, and I feel like
Alright, it's fine.
we put it together. But do you want to see the promo for the episode?
Oh, sure. I love these because I want to see what they what they were gonna try to reveal, if they revealed everything or not.
On the season finale of Dawson's Creek,
I broke things off with Pacey because I didn't want to lose you.
the test of true love,
My leaving would be giving up on you. I'm not quite prepared to do that just yet.
learning to let go.
All that matters right now is what you want. You're gonna turn around and you're gonna walk away from me. Aren't you?
The season finale of Dawson's Creek.
So yeah, I wanted to wait till the end to show you that because you know too much about the genre that I felt like you were gonna put two and two together.
Oh, well, to be honest, it was kind of like a situation where, like, the way the season was leading out, like, it didn't necessarily lend itself to think that, like, she was going to end up with Dawson.
Right.
What I thought initially was going to happen was that she was going to go all the way to the end saying, like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know.
Mhm.
And then the whole like I don't want either of you, go fuck yourselves, like, kind of thing. That's what I was expecting, like, really, because like that would have been the most female empowerment part of it. But I'm happy with this too because I think Pacey's an incredibly good character. He would be incredible to her. I just am very concerned for their welfare as sailing down the eastern coast
Right.
alone. Like, come on, like, I hope I'm just gonna say, I hope they're prepared. And also, like, a new relationship in a boat that, like, a small quarters, like,
Well, now Pacey and Joey have all the time in the world to just talk or not talk, fish,
exactly.
food.
Well, that'll see, now that's the thing. The premiere of the next season will be hella interesting because they will either come back looking haggard, like they died, or they almost killed each other, or so in love that they're basically attached.
We'll find out that Joey left them at the first port and flew back.
That's what I mean. Like, it's either gonna. I feel like there is no in between. I feel like they're gonna both look like they've been through the worst shit they've ever seen in their entire life, or so snuggled up that Dawson will want to throw up the minute he sees them.
Well, I do have a season 4 sneak peek.
Okay, you're really spoiling me today. I feel
Well, I
so
usually do this at the end of the season. I
care
do
of.
like a little preview.
Well, you could have just left me thinking that I was special. Be like, yes, Dana, we do it for just you. This is just for you.
Well, this is for our Patreon. This is
Ah, that's right. No, it's not just for me, just me individually.
No, Dawson.
Ah!
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Last year, she fell in love with his best friend.
I've seen how much she loves him.
On the season premiere,
Don't do this, Dawson.
What's done is done.
her choice changes everything.
It couldn't last forever.
Dawson's Creek, the new season.
Oh, they're seniors now, so they gotta be sexy now.
Yeah.
It's gonna rain and then the
I
water.
love that shot of her in between the two of them.
Mhm.
Like, I might make that our new thumbnail for the episodes on YouTube.
Well, they made her look snatched. They're like, "Ooh, girl!" Kate Holmes looking at the down the camera lens, like she's gonna kill someone.
She's like, "Yeah, I'm that bitch. I got
That's
this."
That's right. Uh, oh man, I just, the whole season has been like absolutely, like you were saying earlier. It was very light, which we needed.
Mhm.
Season before that was heavy, and also the beginning kind of started off a little heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they destroyed my ship, like they destroyed it,
Yes.
and then they
I feel
tried.
like once we got past Eve is when we started to kind of like get the
Yeah.
ball rolling.
Yeah, I
Which
mean, like,
remember that promo that was kind of like a dig, like a little shady to them. They're like, critics say the show is back on track.
Yeah, it's like a serious dig at them specifically, and it's like, damn, this is supposed to be a preview for this show. Fuck. But yeah, they did not start off good. Like the season didn't start off like the best because
Mhm.
like you gave us like the fact that Andy like would do something like that to Pacey, breaking Pacey's heart, and then on top of it having like this wild character in Eve that just you couldn't. It wasn't real. Nothing felt genuine or authentic. Like it all felt very forced and heavy-handed, and just like they all the lines were so cheesy, and they were probably like just fired all of the writers all at once, and they were just like
Well,
start
they
off.
got a new showrunner.
Yeah, yeah,
Kevin Williamson left. I feel like for me, I got a lot of my enjoyment out of the beginning of the season out of Jen being thrown into these situations, like becoming the head cheerleader and then prom queen,
yeah.
like against her will.
Mhm.
Like,
Well,
and then
see,
Henry's like puppy love towards her. Like that's where I got my enjoyment out of the beginning.
yeah, I did enjoy seeing Jen like kind of flourish this season. That was also like a really high point for me was being able to they figured out her hair and it was
Yeah.
cool. And then they like and just gave her like closure with her mom. Gave her a true love that like Henry truly does love her. I just it's like a relationship that is one of those things where it's like it can get you to the next level like of self-confidence.
Right.
I don't know if it's end game. We'll see how what happens, I guess, in the next season if he lives to see another day. Like I just and it was awesome for her and Graham to finally like really put a pin, even though they didn't really need to put a pin in like the fact that Jen has done everything she could to be a better person. And she is a better person. And
Yeah.
that everybody should acknowledge that, you know. And Jack, oh my God. He's the one who kind of had it this season, I think.
Yeah. It was nice that him and his dad are kind of on better terms. That was a long time coming.
Yeah. That really warmed my entire heart.
I love that you were like, hug him, and then you did.
Hug him! You better hug that boy right now. Like the minute he started crying, like that's the whole thing. I'm such a bleeding heart. Like the minute someone starts to cry in front of me, like I will hold you. Like I will hold you because like that's all. Sometimes whenever I'm crying, that's all I ever want. So like whenever it happens, and they just stand there and watch this person cry, I'm just like, go over there, console this hurting individual. They are human. It happens in K dramas all the time. They don't know how to handle sad emotions. So like when they cry, they just stand there and cry like this. And the other person just goes, right. And then if they go to hug, they just kind of pat them like this. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like it's the most cold interactions ever. I'm telling you, you should do a K drama. You would die. But it's definitely a great like a lot of steps have been made. Some
Mhm.
closure has been made in these situations. Like they kind of took some of the stuff from season 1 and season 2 and finally like really wrapped it all up and kind of
Yeah.
just gave you, you know, some good end caps where characters can finally move on from that
Right.
nonsense, which I'm like very happy for. I hope Andy gets only better. She really gave me villain era for a minute.
Yeah, right.
I remember feeling so much anxiety about how like I don't want to start hating this girl because I was in love with her in season 2.
Yeah.
I don't
From,
like, you
between
know,
her stealing the test, cheating on literally on Pacey, like, I was like, does she give a
yeah,
fuck?" Like
literally. Like it's kind of insane like how they really put her on this roller coaster ride.
Mhm.
But she's
And
still
honestly, I wonder if it had a lot to do with there being a new showrunner.
mm,
Because in a lot of ways, not Pacey, Andy and Joey duplicate each other.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I wonder if like the new showrunner just was like, well, Joey's our star, so we don't really need two Joeys, so we're just gonna like do whatever with
Yeah,
Andy.
like I get one's brunette and the other one's blonde, so they're obviously different. But like you're right. They're both like go-getters, like type A, very like, you know, book or like, you know, school.
Andy's a little bit more intense,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It feels like
Right.
they didn't really know what to do with her.
Yeah.
And
I
that's why
agree.
where all this like weird like last minute outrage over like Pacey moving on was weird
Yeah.
because it wasn't always there.
And maybe like the Will thing just wasn't working out. So they were
Mhm.
like, there's no like what else do we like why would Andy to me it's like why do you always have to make Andy like jealous? Why she was like half supportive and then half jealous? Like she still felt jealousy about the whole situation,
Yeah,
but like still adamantly supported Pacey in going after Joey. Like she emphatically told like it kept happening like back and forth and back and forth. Like the
right.
scene where they're in the like that aunt's house, she tells him she wants him to be happy, that they're going to move on. It's all good. The episode after that, she's in love with him again. Don't understand how that happened. And then the episode after that, you need to tell her that you love her, Pacey. Like it's kind of like, whoa, where are we going? Like,
Right.
who is she? Like it's like almost like one head writer wrote one episode and the other head writer wrote in a different episode, and
Right.
then it went back and
And
forth.
then even this one being trying to be okay with it and trying to get Dawson to be on the same page as her so that he can move forward, but also being like, I've been hurt too. Like, bitch, no, you like shut up.
For what? What have you been hurt by? That's what I want to know.
You
Like,
were hurt. Okay, you were hurt because you broke up. Understandable. But that was like 8 months ago.
right. Well, also at the same time, like there was a reason.
Right.
Like he didn't just break up with you for no reason. Like he
Right.
didn't cheat. He didn't leave you for Joey. Like he told him that you cheated on him, and then tried to hide it from him to just move on. And then obviously you couldn't, you know. So then, like, what do you expect? Like he was never going to get back with you. That's the whole thing.
Right.
And like I guess I always think it was just he was always holding out hope, and the hurt came from like the brutal reality of that's never going to happen, and that
Right.
she truly needs to move on, and because she was never actually ready. But at the same time, that's not Pacey nor Joey's problem, and it never was gonna. I mean, like the whole reaction to them being together is kind of crazy to begin with, like. But these are all teens,
Yeah.
so. Like, if these were adults, I would be like, seriously, are we really going to be that upset about like two single people
Mhm.
getting together?
I've always loved Grams, but I feel like maybe for like at least 95% of the season, she really like rocked. I loved
Yeah.
Grams this season.
He almost killed a kid. Like, he just wants some trash cans. Like, he was ready. I think, Jen has been a little bit of an influence. Like, even though Graham holds staunchly to like that religious, deep-seated, like I think like she's starting to come around to the idea that like you don't have to be as strict as long as people are not hurting other people, then we're okay, you
Right.
know. I love her acceptance of Jack. I love her acceptance of just about anyone, really. Just not
My
uh
favorite scene is in the first
Will.
episode where Jack and Jen were like setting up breakfast and they had a whole routine and she's just standing there and she's like, how long have you two been married?
Yeah. Well, you know, best friends. I mean, like, definitely. That's what I mean. Like, it's kind of, she's been the best adult in the room so far. I mean, like, even though she's had her, like, setbacks, which is what I think kind of happened in that one episode, that's like,
Yeah.
she regressed and then make far forward, like, kind of thing. So I'm thinking, like, I just think that she was a really good example for a lot of them to know, like, what's a good adult role model in your life that
Right.
can care about you unconditionally, won't let you get away with everything, but at the same time, like, will hear you, talk to you, be there for you. And because, like, you know, Mitch had his own problems, and also like the whole mess with like basically Dawson somehow got away with having a party, crashing a boat, and like what was the other thing? There was something else. Oh, it was when he went to prison.
That was the last straw, right? That's when Mitch was
Yeah,
like,
that's
you're
what
gonna work
broke
at the
the camel's back.
restaurant.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Doug became more likable this season.
yeah, definitely, because he
Uh,
cares about Pacey.
right.
Like that's all it takes. It's like care about Pacey, and I will love everything you do.
It's funny. watching classic episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful, and he's currently a cast member on there, and he's like 20 years old, so it's like interesting to
So
see
you're
him
like, oh,
younger.
baby Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I love when that sort of stuff happens.
We finally got like resolution to where the hell Bodhi was. Like, you finally came
Yeah.
back.
He came back for like a couple episodes, and then we'll see if I don't know if I saw him at the wedding. Did you see him at the
I
wedding?
saw his name in the credits, but I didn't see Bessie and Bodhi in at the
I saw
wedding.
Bessie, but I didn't look around her to see if Bodhi was there. But
I mean, maybe he was in the background, or maybe his scenes got cut in post
yeah,
production.
it's possible. It's possible.
Um,
Yeah, episode was good, and the season overall was very good. I enjoyed like. I feel like everything after Eve like made up for all of that. Like we didn't need any of it, but like everything else just kind of like overshadowed it immediately.
well, that's season 3.
Right.
3 down, 3 to go.
I know, right? Oh, we're halfway through the series. Is that
Yeah.
so? Oh
Yeah.
my
I think we have more episodes than we watched because the first season was only 13, and the next 3 are full seasons.
yeah.
But we'll get there.
I'm loving this ride. This is exactly the type of teen drama you want. I wonder if I'll ever like Dawson. I have not this entire time. I don't know.
Funny because
around.
I didn't remember ever hating Dawson, but I used to see a lot of hate for him online, and I was like, oh, it's just ship wars. Like, I'm not feeling it. But then, like, after listening to the podcast and now rewatching it, and I'm like, no, it's there. There's a reason.
It's pretty problematic. Like, it's not like, and also you can really chalk a lot of it up to is like his supposed immaturity. But it gets like messy when you have like this crazy dialogue that they give them to say all the time, and the way he like approaches these conversations that he has with people, it's almost like he's trying to manipulate them with that kind of language. It's kind of indicative to like how some people do it now. Like they'll throw all the therapy language at people to get them to like to manipulate them to be on the side, like as if they're smarter and stuff. So like this could be either the beginnings of a narcissist brewing, or like again his immaturity is showing because that's how teens be. They're very self-centered. They're very much like me and my life and what's going on in it is the most important thing. And like, yeah, that is true because what else would be? But the pains that they're going through is to kind of learn that is not the case. That being a good friend means letting go, like the promo said, like giving people room to figure out what's going on in their lives instead of trying to hold them down.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you to our Patreon supporters and our regular YouTube subscribers for joining us for another season of Dawson's Creek. We'll be back next week with season 4. As always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great night. Bye.